everybody. Hello, 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 hello. I just hope you can all see me on the screen now. Oh, I'm a little bit off the bottom of the screen. And the lighting's terrible. What's happened here to the lighting? There we are. If I do that, I can't see anything, but you can see me. So everyone, just give everyone a few minutes to log in. And I'm going to go over to... so I can actually see what's happening, hopefully. Yes, hello. Here comes messages, alright, yep, so you can see me now. Good, good, good. Right. We've got Andrew Whelan, hi all. 2 of the 3 Roman legions had to be stationed at our doorstep to keep check on a bunch of hill tribes. I think not. Haha, it was the Helmand province of the age. That's a nice thought, thank you. We'll get on to the Romans, that's going to be the big one today. Hey Arnie, you're pedantic for saying there's no Germany in the time of the Saxons. Tell him there was no Wales in the time of the Romans and see if he does it again. David Priest, thank you very much. Evening, Steve Frankham. And thank you, Andrew Whelan. Yes. Good evening, all. Hello, everyone. People are coming on board. It's great. We've got so much this week. So much to cover. I mean, it's just... wow, I got pages and pages of notes. And that's before you even get to the main subject. So, I think... what we're thinking about is doing a second live one during the week. Probably Wednesday. What sort of time do people think? 8 o'clock seems like after dinner for me. Oh, the lag is 23 seconds, says Arnie. Right, why is the lag so big this week? Oh well, thanks for letting me know. So I might be a bit slow responding to comments. So there's not much I can do about that at the moment. I think I'm not plugged into the internet. I am relying on the Wi-Fi. Am I lagging at all? Nope. Alright, everyone okay? Welcome to the main event. Thank you, Arnie. Right. Okay, I'm in this weird situation now where I can't see myself or hear myself. I just have to carry on talking and eyes go nod, it's all fine, yeah? Cool. Right. Now, a lot of subjects to get through. The main subject has come about quite by accident, really, because I did have something else planned. So what I want to talk about is I got the news. I'll run through the news first, like we normally do. There's so much news this week. It's very hard to cover it all. So I'm going to do my best. And I met a very, very pleasant person for the first time. His name's Richard Davis. He's a wonderful spiritual person, druidic. Because as you know, it's been a tough few months. I'd like to go on about it, but it is relevant, so I'm going to mention it. When I first lost my father, then my mother, then one of my best friends, all in close succession. It's been very difficult, and I was having... trouble coming to terms with it, as you'd expect. It's quite natural. But Richard's been wonderful. He's got a very sort of old druidic outlook on life. Very spiritual. And he's just sorting me out, really. So, this is a history channel. We're not really going to look into spirituality and stuff, but everyone has some. And I think it's worth looking at some point. So I really do want to discuss that. Anyway, I went to meet Richard. He called me over to Caerleon. Or Caerleon, if you're using the sort of modern or North Walian pronunciation. It's known as the Roman fort, much as anything. That was referred to in the earlier comment. Andrew, wasn't it? Sorry, I can't see anything on the screen. Right, so, and what he's done, and one of the things I want to talk about is that about 10 years ago, or slightly more than 10 years ago, he took a great interest in the Cumbraen area. The Valley of Bran, I would say, or we got Bonassis perhaps, which comes into it. And he was disappointed that people in that area had little pride in their history. And Cumbraen, if you don't know it, was a kind of Milton Keynes of Wales. It's one of these sort of artificially created towns. There was things there before, farms, and as we found out since, some historical sites. But basically, there was nothing there. And all the housing and everything was built from the 60s, 70s onwards. And that's where Richard went when he was young. So it's a wonderful story, and I am going to do some videos on Caerleon. She introduced me to some fascinating places, because Richard is also an artist. And there's a wonderful little arty place in the back of Caerleon, which I think everyone should go to, called the Forum. It's like Welsh for forum, only it's not Welsh for forum, it's Forum. It's a Welsh word. And it's sort of seated learning. Wonderful history, loads of stuff to see. And because he's part of the scene, I got to meet some of the people and some good interviews and stuff there. I'm just going to show a little bit the kind of stuff Richard does for art. Now I'm just going to have to hope you can see this, because I don't know what you're seeing. And I mentioned this cross, and a couple of people in the group are saying, oh, no, crosses and stuff. I want to do it, little quiz question. Oh, I've got a quiz question at the end as well, don't worry. So a quiz question at the beginning first. Yeah. Oh, there's a few more hellos, a few more people. Right. Sorry I can't get to those right now. Right, so what you do, who can recognise this? It's a beautiful piece of work by Richard. And it's based on something which has popped up in our studies, in our history books. Just hope it's not too near the camera. Hopefully you can see that. And if you notice, it is a cross, but it's more than a cross, really, because it's a kind of male and female. You see a female figure and the crucifixion. Oh, yeah. There's a long leg. So it's... all right, now I'll give you another... If you haven't worked it out yet, can anyone work out what that is? And I'll give you a clue, because when you normally see it these days, it's more like that. Alright, now it's been slightly adjusted by Richard in his artwork. What do you think this is? Beautiful. I'll give you a clue. The original, which he's based the idea on, is cut from stone. So can you think of a stone where this appears? And for those who got it, well done. I'm very impressed. I was racking my brains because I knew I'd seen it when he showed it to me, and I was struggling to place it. It is Nevern. Nevern. So when you look at it's been used as a sort of windowsill, if you like, in Nevern. It's one of these recycled stones. It's very annoying how much history's been put the wrong way around in these old churches and stuff. But this one you can see. And Richard used to work in metalworking, and what's fascinating is he has a theory that what's been carved out of the stone there actually forms a kind of, I'm not sure what the word is, a mould. A mould, yeah, a mould is probably the word, whereby you could have poured the metal into the grooves that cut into the piece of stone. And by going through the metalworking processes, you could then have produced a thin metal item, which he thinks would have been how they put the design onto the shields. So how about that? It's fascinating, isn't it? Also a beautiful piece of work. And then we got some other stuff. He's done some wonderful... I thought this was a photograph, but actually this is Avon Usk, or the River Usk, near Caerleon. And that's acrylics. So these cards are wonderful. You can get them on sale in the Caerleon art shops there. And I'm going to thinking about putting them on the website as well. But they'd have to be bought with something else, I think. Otherwise, postage and everything. I have to work out how to make this feasible. And this is Morrigan. Well, I'm thinking is Morgan Le Fay, probably. I didn't really check on that one. There we go. Unusual. Anyways, apparently he's doing very well in the shops. And it's great. And I've lost my track a bit. Oh, yeah. It's particularly relevant because he also introduced me to Alan, who has an amazing crafty shop. Not he's crafty, he's full of craft stuff. It's in the Furham in Caerleon, full of really interesting history books about Wales you wouldn't normally see. There's all stuff as well about what you might call... So sometimes you say occult, it just means hidden, but people think it sounds, oh, occult, you go around slaughtering children or something. No, it's the kind of old witchcrafts and folk things and pagan customs. Lots of history in there. Very interesting. Really nice guy. Very, again, spiritual place. And came across this book, which I had never heard of before. So he did me a good price on this. I've checked Amazon since. And it's more on Amazon. But this is a second-hand copy, I guess. But anyway, I'm very happy with it. And this book is by Ray Howell. And this is going to provide a lot of the information for what we're talking about tonight. Because Ray Howell is a proper, bona fide academic from Cardiff University. I don't know his full background. I am hoping to meet him. Richard knows him. Hoping to get in touch. I'd love to talk to him about what he found in this book. Because this is one of those rare things. Richard thinks it's actually the only proper academic book written about hill forts and archaeology in southeast Wales. I mean, it's mostly Gwent, but there's a little bit of Glamorgan in there as well, okay? So, a rare book, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic. The things that are in there, because the archaeology, the main complaint of the book is not being much archaeology done. What has been done is in there, and what it reveals is quite startling. What's also a little bit startling to me, I'm trying to put this very politely, because I really want to meet this gentleman, and the work in there is fantastic. But you can see the professional training, the university experience. He's not quite prepared to go one step further. So even though the evidence, to me anyway, seems to suggest a lot of the stuff that we talk about is all borne out with the evidence. For example, Romans not really being in Wales, and migrations and international trade. It's all there, but you have to go that extra step. All right, so we come back to that. That's what we're going to be talking about. Now, the next one is books update. I always do this every week. Trojan War is with the printers. I will have something to show you in next week's episode, next week's show. I'll probably put a video up before then, okay? So thanks for bearing with me. Sorry it took a bit longer than usual, but we had lockdown and all the other things, but time, and also a lot more work, and the index. Now, one of the things that's come up with this is there are some other books. I've got the notes and everything for Wilson and Blackett. Some we've managed to scan in, some we have to laboriously type because they didn't use computers much. Original print files, they don't know where they are. So anyway, it's a bit daunting. And then a couple of people, most notably Patricia Gilcrash and Janet MacArthur, and a couple of other people's have volunteered to type in some chapters, and we give it a try, and a couple of chapters have been done. It's like, wow, this is great. If everyone could do a couple of chapters, because I've got hundreds of pages of notes here, and you need them as a Word document, so you can move them around and edit them properly, and use it as a create a book. And the same with finding pictures and all this kind of thing. It would be a huge, huge workload off my desk and help get these things quicker if we could have more volunteers to do this. So that's brilliant. Big thank you to them. This will bring forward more books. The next book, which will be out very soon, is all about, this is controversial, and I think we'll be discussing it a lot the next few weeks of live streams, and it's all to do with this concept of Jesus basically being royal family, which he does say in the Bible, his wife Mary Magdalene also being royalty, between the two of them, the most powerful royal family or dynasty of that period. And well, it's a brilliant book. It goes through all the politics of Rome and how Jesus was not actually killed on the cross, but there was a procedure was gone through, and then he came to Wales. I think a lot of you are familiar with this story. He's buried in Wales, and then the early evidence for the Welsh history. And what I've been doing, it's taken ages, is bring together the new writings, put it into a chronological order, because it's scattered amongst the notes, and then bring in all the bits I can find from the other books, with updates and new pictures. And thank you very much to people who've been sending me pictures. It's fantastic. Ellis has sent me loads, and I've got Steve. It's becoming a real team effort. And for all these people who help with typing or contributing pictures, and they go in the book, we haven't really got the budget to pay you properly for this, but it will be massively appreciated, and you will, of course, get a free signed copy of the books. If anyone else can help as well, that would be great, because this does need to be a team project. And as Hugh and Richard, my spiritual guides, are telling me, I need to slow down a bit, otherwise I'll be burnt out. Now, the other thing with Richard we're talking about is something I want to do, another thing I want to do for ages, and I'm looking for interested parties. We really want to set up a foundation, like a charitable foundation, to look after a lot of Wilson and Blackett's work. I mean, they get left legacies. You can't just pay them into an account. We also have stuff to look after. We need assets. We need to be able to go around to be a good fundraiser. And a way of organising this on a firm footing, and it's not just about me. That's never the plan. I'm just there trying to be a catalyst to get everyone else doing it, all right? I'm like a reporter and then a middleman and bringing teams together. That's what I'm doing, okay? So please contact me, get involved, all these things. If you know much about the legal side, setting up a foundation, that would be really handy as well, because we need to get around that as well. So, right, going to go on to some of the topics now. There was something else I wanted to say on that. Oh, yeah, please. The other thing we really need to push is get the YouTube channel over 1,000 subscriptions, and then all sorts of features open up on YouTube. So if everyone could just try and get 2 more people in, something like that. Once you get past 1,000, it's not a problem, because we got tens of thousands of hours and viewers and all that kind of thing. Just need 1,000 subs. It's the way YouTube works, okay? Right, I'll come back to the channel in a second. I am going to put a light on. I'm going to look terrible, but I can't see the book otherwise. So, ghostly Ross! Alright. Right, okay, now then, one of the things which cropped up in this book, which surprised me, is there's been very little archaeology done in South East Wales. That wasn't the surprise. What was a surprise was that some of the best archaeology was actually done, like 1880s, by good old Iolo Morgannwg, Edward Williams, the much maligned, the person who is treated as like the arch forger and everything else. So I'm going to try and do now a little screen sharing, because there's a bit more to this than I thought. Alright, so you can find him on Wikipedia. He's no secret. Just search Iolo Morgannwg. And it says here he did all these wonderful things. He was great. But then he got tainted with forgeries. He's supposed to forge some documents. Now, for one, I would say, if he did forge some, it was a tiny amount out of a massive body of work. And I don't think he did forge them, by the way. Just to misunderstand my comment then. He really got attacked by various people like John Gwenogfryn Evans, and particularly, Griffith John Williams, who, well, according to Wilson and Blackett, was basically being fraudulent. The stories he was running with the BBC back in the 1930s, and just slaughtered Iolo Morgannwg. And this is in the Trojan War book, which is why it's front of my mind. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting connection. And I'd like people to have a look. Wikipedia, you've got to read between the lines a little bit with Wikipedia, all right? So we're going through there. Now, listen to this now. He had forged several manuscripts, notably parts of the third series of Welsh triads. Now, that's part of a third series, so we to assume then the first two series are fine, because what's happened is everything's been thrown out. And what I've noticed following this for the last few years, and I particularly brought my attention to this, the Merovingian manuscripts. Again, Patricia, also Alan Rees and Vince Burke raised this up, and how you can actually read them yourself and see all the work there, obviously in Welsh. But it's crazy. Talk about chucking out the baby with the bathwater. There's a bit of controversy over some of the papers, so the whole thing is ignored. And one of the things that Wilson and Blackett point out in the Trojan Wars book, where they give a lot of the story, what happened behind this, and the story of Iolo Morgannwg, is a lot of it was not actually written by him anyway. There was a team putting this together. The others were respected Oxford and Cambridge dons or professors. So no one, I think John Morris was the name of one, and people didn't like to attack them, because obviously they have the reputation, you see, whereas poor Iolo was a soft touch. So even though a lot of the accusations that he's supposed to have forged, I mean, what a genius, he's supposed to have forged all these amazing poems and stuff. Well, he's a pretty good poet then, isn't he? But anyway, but they wouldn't dare go after the academic guys. They went for him as the soft target. Even though it turns out a lot of the stuff they've accused him of forging was not even written by him. It was written by the other researchers. So it really does stink. One thing I noticed while doing a bit of research for tonight's programme, and questions being asked on the thing, if you have a look at Colburn, because I do apologise, I was going to do a full thing on Colburn, and I wrote down who asked the question a couple of weeks ago, who I keep promising to put this up, and I will be doing the Colburn as soon as possible, is that if you read this, John Morris Jones was there, anyway, the story's in Trojan War, and if you look at this, Iolo Morgannwg, hope you can follow me here, developed his own runic system based on an ancient druidic alphabet system. So according to this, there was an ancient alphabet. Is that what it says? Or is that just me trying to look for it too hard? He's called the Bardic alphabet, and it was said to be the alphabet of the ancient druids. So I find, just observing myself, is that slowly, this vitriol and attack on everything he did is slightly watering down a bit, and it's lowering. You go look at the comments in a second now, because if you just jot a couple down perhaps, because I'm nothing seems to be working tonight. Anyway, okay, so there's a school named after him, Super Furry Animals. Griff Rhys dedicated a song to him in his 2014 album. So anyway, a lot more to that, and it all ties in with Colburn. And it also ties in with the archaeology, which is why I've mentioned it here, okay? I've got a new way of doing this now. I've got everything lined up, ready to go. Come on, computer. Oh, yeah, there's the... Whoops, excuse me. There's a letter from Richard. Thank you, Richard. Go away. You're not supposed to be on screen, that thing. All right. Okay, so just let people know. Britain's Hidden History Group, if you're not already a member, please join. It's on Facebook. And we've had stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of stories. A couple of ones I've just put up. There's been mountains, and I'm going to go through some of them because there's some really interesting ones. All right. I never saw my Trump video. It's getting some interesting reactions from people, that is, I have to say. And all right, here we go. Right, first of all, we got a map here. Thank you very much. This is Owen Rogers, who was copying something or forwarding to me something from Baz Willis. I like this map. This is 500 AD. Ta-da! Look how big Wales is on that. And there's your little East Angles, look. There's also something else interesting on this map, wasn't there? Oh no, the next map. So there you go. There's a proper map, look. Because I was doing this thing about, little funny chat thing I was doing about, I was going to do a video, I will do it at some point, why Wales should be the best rugby team in the world and always win the World Cup. And one of the reasons was, I wasn't even claiming all this lot, we just have those 4 counties back that were taken in by Henry VII. And Devon and Cornwall as allied as well as old British rather than Welsh. And then all the Welsh rugby clubs, you could add in Bristol, Bath, Gloucester, Exeter, all the best teams really. What a great setup that would be. Okay, so, and then thanks to David, you added to this then with a 600 map. And you see how quickly this changes if these maps are correct. Very difficult to tell. But I also want to say here we've got the West Saxons. This is Wiltshire. It's curious, this area where the Wessex is the Guise. I'm interested in that. I want to do more on that one. And Mercia seems to have shifted away from Wales that way a bit. So there we go. Thank you very much for all those maps being sent in. Regards videos for the group, I've got a whole list of videos that have been put up. I'm hoping to get some help with the editing because that's really slowing things up at the moment. I've got to accept this from the Wales Online. That's the next article. Sorry, yeah, because I'm backing up. Some of the ones I really, really want to get up was when Tim took me to Taran Doesant. You can see the water shrine is fantastic. I went up to Toyn Tudor, must be a month ago now. Saw Sian up there. And Dixie said stuff about that. And Darren, so thank you to those people. And also, because Devan, new member to the group, Devan Jones. Thank you, Devan. He also posted about it. What's it called? Mynydd Eglwys. And What's the Mound and all this. And he has some great pictures as well. So we're going to get back to that. And I need to speed up. I'm talking too slow. Mynydd Dinas, going up the hill. Is that the possible first British major settlement city up there? And then the Caerleon stuff with Richard. Loads of things from there. And a Sutton Hoo follow-up. Really got to do that one. And the big video, I really want to have some time to work on. I might need a couple of days off this directly. I'm not sure if it is Britain's Hidden History, really. Is something I mentioned briefly in the week. Is a theory about the Great Flood. The flood which supposedly flooded the whole world. And of course, if you look at the conventional explanations, there are a few problems. Like, where did all the water come from? And where did all the water go? Stuff like that. And I've got a new theory now which might just have cracked it and can have a global flood and fulfill all the conditions. And it's not a religious text. I'm not trying to say the Bible's right, wrong or indifferent, but the timing would seem to fit close to what might have been a historical event covering the whole world. And if you go to the world of physics, it all ties in. So I really want to put that together. I think that could be quite major. We've got lots of other stuff to do as well. There's a lot more happening with the star mounds. Wow, sorry, crack on, right? So I just want to run through these very quickly. This is one. This question was asked by Sarah Ripley, who I don't know is a new member, or Ripley. I can't read my own writing. What can you say when you can't read your own writing? Anyways, anyone know this Battle of Gower that sparked a Welsh rebellion? It was in this is the Western Mail, Wales Online as it's called. Okay, just a quick one. She's asking to spread the word, find out about it. No one in the group seems to know about it. I don't know about it. So there we are, just a quick one. Thank you, welcome aboard. This one I like. Ah, no, it's making me agree to everything because I normally avoid that. Because there's the things running, I can't. Right, look at this. The Scottish hero William Wallace, eh? And Wallace being Welsh, and this is where we got a lot of discussion going on. Again, it's another story in the Trojan War book, is how Wallace is actually Welsh. So thank you very much for this, for sharing this one. Sorry, I forgot who shared this one. It's all coming out. And maybe this Welsh story, and people start to realise that William Wallace are not completely bonkers when they come up with some of these ideas. And give another 20... Oh, look at that silly picture there. My wife always said she thought it was an Australian film. There you go. Sums it up, doesn't it? Okay. This I really want to get on to. Talking a lot recently about Troy and the mazes. Do you remember all that stuff? I'm trying to work out who's... Here we go. Lee Barrett Povey. Thank you very much for sharing this. And again, all these stories are in the Britain's Hidden History Facebook group. I'm thinking of other ways of sharing them so that you don't have to join Facebook. But it is fantastic for these kind of discussions, I have to say. And we do have a forum. If you're not aware of it, there is a forum. Which, I'm going to confuse myself now and try and type it in there. This is Brit Hidden History. Okay, not Britain's Hidden History, too many letters. Brit Hidden History. .boards.net. Wow, there's loads of comments coming in. I have to scroll through and catch up later. Oh, the bookshop name. Yeah. It's Alien's little bookshop. I'll be on the video. Put a video up during the week. You can't miss it though. It's a little alleyway down in the Fulham, and you'll see there on the left-hand side, very cool guy with a sort of hip, sort of 60s look with the longish hair, cool glasses, flowery shirt. That's what he wore when I was there. And anyway, have a look at all the shops. Everyone was really super friendly, and hopefully when normal world resumes, you even have a coffee. The art is fantastic. They had a wood carving competition, and people have made things from like the Mabinogi, and there's these wonderful chairs where one chair is carved out to look like Merlin, another one looks like Guinevere, and the stories from the Mabinogi on. Some of them are quite rude. So, alright, what's happened there is fantastic, and that's all being done by individuals like you and like me. Not organised by council, not organised by any authorities or tourist boards or anything. A doctor moved there about 50 years ago, less than that I think actually. He had some money, he's set up the Fulham, he's got himself a nice house, and he has brought in artists and created this area. Richard as well did a competition where you could paint your own little tile for £2, and all the £2 added up and paid for a lot of the work, and the tiles are still there. We've got to do this. It's an initiative, alright? For reasons I do not understand, are completely strange to me, is bonkers. We can't seem to get the authorities involved. This is why the foundation, I should have said at the time, my brain wasn't kicking into gear. One of the reasons for the foundation is to get funding to promote South Wales as a tourist area, but also to let English people know that their history's been taken away. Scottish people. Everyone needs to know this. There'll be a whole new growth of interest from around the world. You know, you've got Arthur, we've got the Christianity, we've got the hill forts, there's just so many different things, alright? You know, we don't have the best weather, why keep trying to flog Britain on the back of beaches? Anyway, boom. Was I ranting again? People say they like the rants. That wasn't much of a rant, that was like a mini rant. That was just warming up. Anyway, this is what the forums look like. Please, people aren't using them very much recently. You go down there and you go through the boards and there's loads and loads of subjects, alright? This gives you a rough idea of what we cover. There's links to videos, you just click on there, you'll find YouTube videos and whatever videos. What we got here, Roman era Britain, great place to go for books and resources and references. Arthurian Britain. If you're new to the channel, these are the main subjects we cover, alright? Arthurian Britain, medieval Britain, not so much. Places of historical interest, that's a huge amount of things there, like the battle site of Camlan. The battle site of Arthur, which no one can find, where he fought Medred, right? Then there's early Christianity, and there's all the different saints, and the one they mentioned in Caerleon. Oh, come on, my brain's gone. Begins with a G. Alright, come back to me. Any one of the famous early saints. That's okay. And then we've got the migrations and the routes. And if you click through these, there's loads of threads inside. Mountains and ancient monuments, which ties in with the Star Mounds. The Welsh in America, which we've got to get back to. We haven't touched that for a while. And then some related subjects, legends, all that. Right, so there's tons of stuff in there, okay? So please go and have a look. Add to it. It's a free resource. It's a way to stop everything just falling down the memory hole and never being seen again. All right? So this is the thing about Troy. There's a Troy in Cardiff. Please have a look at that. Pause the video. Get the... I'm going to share this. Anyway, there are places named Troy and Little Troy all over Britain, including Cardiff. So more on that. Right, how are we doing for time here? Yes, we're okay. We're okay at the moment. Well, not really. We've never got enough time. An hour's going to be it. Maybe 10 past. Oh yeah, this one. Try and share this video. This is someone who's been done fantastic work in what we call the authentic. People say it's alternative history. No, Alan Wilson corrected this. An alternative. This is the authentic history. This is what they used to teach in schools. This is what was accepted as British history for, I don't know, at least 1,500, 2,000 years. It's the last little bit that's been changed. That's the alternative history. This is the authentic history. Anyway, Karen organised ARC, A-R-C. You've probably seen that. There's a great video of Alan Wilson presenting, things like this. And great conference. Really urging her to do more. Probably just as well she didn't listen to me because lockdown might have been a disaster. But anyway. Oh, hang on, you can't hear it. Can you hear the music? Oh no, I got the wrong one. Hang on. Swap that. We will come to Karen's in a moment. This shows the difference when a professional filmmaker does something. Paul Hartill made this 7 years ago, I think. It's a bit of a pitch to try and get Arthur film made. I think it's wonderful. Hope you doesn't mind me showing it here. I won't go full screen because I might stall. Hey, how cool is that, eh? How cool is that? So that's the sort of thing I want to have on my channel. Oh, come on, do me one, Paul. And it also goes to show that what we're doing now, what I'm doing now, it's nothing new, all right? I'm just a reporter. I'm trying to just update and get up to things. What's that? It's the Dark Knight Batman music. That was going to be a quiz question. What music is on there? No, it's not the Dark Knight Batman music.
Well, it sounds identical to
it. Sounds like it says, Arnie. Well, Arnie's got a good musical ear, so perhaps I got it wrong. I think it is from another film. It probably shouldn't be used, but for this, it was supposed to be a private thing. That's only a few seconds. All right, anyway. Right, okay, so well done, Paul, on that. Brilliant. One point I want to make, the reason I want to show this, is the likes of Paul, Pete Sunman, all sorts of people like that, Alan Wilson, obviously Baron Blackett, various others. They were doing this. Paul's not old enough. He's like a child, obviously. But some of them were doing this back in the 80s. In the 80s. Do you realise that the 80s, now almost 40 years ago, that's how long this has taken to try and get some recognition, to try and get this viewed. And Paul's come all the way from America on numerous occasions, trying to get videos done, trying to get some interest with the film companies. And I've got 2 other TV producers been in touch with me in the last few months. Well, I suppose it's a year now. It's taken ages. Three. All different ideas, and I don't break any confidences or tell anyone what everyone else is doing. Nothing like that. But they've all got ideas related to this work, and I'm just happy to give the information out, right? I give them the whatever they want. Pictures, historical background. I'll even go and stand on a field and film it for them. Anything. There's nothing in it for me. I don't get a penny out of that. It's just trying to get it out there. And 30, 40 years of struggling now. And they all say no. Anyone explain that? How weird is it? You think the History Channel or Discovery Channel, I mean, some of the banal rubbish they crank out. and then you got something as exciting as this. It's just amazing. So if anyone's got any ideas on that, please let me know. If anyone's got any good contacts, also let me know. I don't know. We got to keep trying. The point again, we got to do it ourselves, right? Just like the Fulham in the Doctor made in Caerleon, and people with their own stores and people doing things, and people doing what we're doing now, right? It's growing. The Britain's Hidden History Group's almost 1,000 members. The YouTube channel, got to get to 1,000 members. Tell your friends, bring people in. Let's grow this, okay? And I'll be putting more and more videos up. And if people can help with editing and production, all that would help it along. We've got to start acting more like a team. So thank you very much for that, Paul. Oh yeah, this was see, I can't really share this very easily. But anyway, this is the kind of thing people send in. It's how to find your way around. And is this the one? David Wolfskell may have sent this in. He's a proper academic. You can see he's an archaeologist and everything. Really good to have people like that on board. We might have slightly different views on some things because you come from a more official angle. That's great. That's great. Disagreeing and sharing different positions is brilliant. It's all very nice. No one falls out. Have a laugh. And that's what you need to do, right? It's not some cult. We all just say the same thing and that's the end of it. This one struck me. Right, now I do need to speed up because I was thinking about this. Popped up on, once again, my friends over on the Anglo-Saxon site. And the reason it got mentioned there, Mary Hilda, who does a fantastic job. I don't know if she ever watches these videos, but she is a diamond and her knowledge is incredible, right? And really helpful. So I can only say good things about that group, and I recommend people go and have a look. It's full of clever people who really know this stuff. Obviously, it's got a real Anglo-Saxon angle, but it's called the Anglo-Saxon group. I don't have a problem with that. If you're in the Anglo-Saxon group, you can push the Anglo-Saxon position, all right? I get a little bit more miffed when people do it in the Welsh history group or something, but there you go. Right, look at this. These Byzantine finds from the far ends of the world. The reason Marie put this up was because they found some Byzantine stuff in the Sutton Hoo burial mound, right? And they were trying to explain, how does that tie in with Anglo-Saxons? Well, of course, it doesn't really, because this link, the Varangian Guard they talk about, that was much later. They were refugee survivors after Hastings, or Battle of Battle, or whatever you want to call it, after the Norman invasion. Outcasts, trained hard soldiers, went all the way down and became part of the Byzantine army. Sutton Hoo, probably 5th or 6th century, or even older, I would say. But anyway, that seems to be where people are placing it. You know, it's 400 or 500 years before that happened. This, to me, provides another possible evidence link that Sutton Hoo is British, because there you've got this, the British did have links to the Mediterranean. They did have this link, particularly with Byzantine and Anatolia and the area they'd come from, the tin trading going back and forth, all sorts of things. So anyway, do we out, right? I've got to speed up, but bear that in mind, okay? There's going to be a follow-up Sutton Hoo thing soon. Aha, here's the hammer chant. Hannah, which is half a year. This is Karen's, and it's a lovely video as well, so can I make this a bit louder? It's Karen's music here, remixed, we're allowed to use. And here's a look inside there. Oops.
Seeking the answers to find.
Alright, so I highly recommend going. Sorry to talk over you, Karen. Look for How There's Chant, alright? It's got some ancient British sites, it's wonderful music. Karen and her friends are doing the art together. Hannah is supposed to mean half a century. I have no idea why. I think Karen is about 24, 25 years old, so why she did stuff about 50, I have no idea. Anyway, good work, well done. Thank you very much for sharing. And you might start hearing some of this music on my videos. Whee! Look at that. This is inside there. Oh, come on, I have to say something about those. Anyway. Just these stone megalithic mounds, dolmens, all these things you want to call them. We've got to talk about them someday. It's prehistory, really. This is the problem. It's hard to find the written records. But if you're into catastrophism and massive earth upheaval and terrible things like comets and terrible strikes and that, these really fit in as being a refuge. And I'd like to talk more about that, but that's another subject. All right, well, good work, Karen. I think it's fantastic. Absolutely stunning. Oh, I got on to the main subject. No, we're all right. We'll just go a few minutes. Which was this one? I can't remember which one this was now. Was this the... Oh, this might be from Dave Voltskill, because I haven't had a chance to properly read this one. But the stuff I was trying to find from Dave, he's put a lot of good stuff. But one was a massive area around Stonehenge, which I'm guessing what this is. Because I didn't have a chance to read all the details. Yep. So anyway, try and pause it, have a look for the links and these countries, because this is quite academic stuff and it's really good and it's taking us forward, and that's how we move forward. And we need to bring more academic people on board who really know their stuff, man. Literary Hub. Oh yeah, this is from Adrian Price. If you know Adrian. Oh no, Adrian Price, I do apologise. I've known Adrian for years. He's my mate, Adrian Stone. I won't talk about Adrian Price here, but Adrian Stone, and he found this rude feminist poems. A little bit off subject, but there we are. If you know Adrian, he's a very funny character, and he's been ill, and I want to wish him my best and send my love to him. He's our stick in the mud, that keeps us on track by constantly calling it all rubbish and pushing the conventional narrative. But I think he does it partly to be devil's advocate and get the conversation going. And he's a Plaid Cymru boy, so I don't do politics, by the way. I don't. No parties, no member, nothing to do that. Oh, another one I got to sign into now. The sacrifices I make for this show. Come on, let me go in there. Life science. No, that's lagged now as well. Oh, what a shame. All right, anyway, that's probably enough of those. I want to go on to the main one. All right, that's not happening, is it? Come on. Just about the channel. I've already done that yet. The films that are coming up, all that kind of thing. Patreon. Did you like the new videos? After walking with the new... Trying to up the game, make it look a bit more professional, try and spread the word, because people are so fussy. I know the hardcore fans in this group will just watch it when it's just thrown out there, and that's what we've done all the way along, but we're trying to up our game a bit, and I'm hoping the Trump one, I got some really bizarre replies and comments already on that. If you haven't seen it already, it's there, look, Trump, the Egyptian god Ptah. We're up to 83 views, and it's only been up a couple of hours, and I got high hopes that's going to go a long way, because it is. If you haven't seen it, please see it. It won't be what you expected. And the comments are not what I expected. All right. So just a quick plug for the website. I mentioned that for ages. There is a britonshiddenhistory.co.uk. We have had to take the blog down, unfortunately, because we got spammed in it by some virus or something. But it's still a useful one. If you're not on Facebook and you can't get on Facebook, log in here. You can log in and have updates. For example, there's the thing. My little drawing of Trump there. You get updates on what videos are going up, and we'll try and put events and things like that. It does. Angie does the website. She does a great job, and she's also on Twitter. So there's Cymroglyphics on Twitter. I mean, your Britain's Hidden History on Twitter as well. So look out for that. Okay, just let you know what's happening here. There's the Stunning Warrior's grave. Anyway, the Stunning Warrior's grave is all to do with more chariots and stuff being found, and that was John Coyne. Thank you very much. Sorry, the link's not working, and we've already covered this. Right. Okay. Just quickly now. Yep. Right. If you remember, way back at the beginning of the programme. Right, any of these want to pick up here? Let's have a look. Paul is here. Hey, Paul. Bit late, he says. Paul from Hollywood. Nice to have people from California, man. How cool is that? And Paul Hartel, did you see your video? Did you... Paul's joined at the perfect time. Just too late to say, you can't show my video. So it's already got up, John. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for that. They rejected Velikovsky too, and now NASA. Whoop, thanks, I was reading that one. Whoop. Yeah, Velikovsky got thrown out as well, unfortunately. Sorry, I was reading. Can you just go up slightly, Arnie? I want to use that. Scroll up. Scroll up a bit. No, scroll up. Scroll. That's it. Yeah, the Velikovsky and that. John, yeah, you're right. The establishment absolutely hate Wilson and Blackhead. No great surprise. I think partly that's politics as well, in fairness. I don't think hopefully we can avoid that. I haven't felt, no, I suppose I've had some aggression, but much less than they did. I don't really bother me because it's, there we go. Oxford historian Gareth Russell has a book called History of the English Monarchy from Boadicea Elizabeth I. Interesting, because, yeah, obviously that predates any Saxon or Norman claims and everything. I'll have to look for that. Because I got in a bit of trouble for calling the... what do you call a pre-Anglo-Saxon English then? Because I put that on a group somewhere and someone said, well, they're not English. I'm like, well, what are they then? Oh, here we go. What's this? Oh, it is from Batman. Arnie's right again. I can't believe... I shouldn't argue with Arnie on music. Much better than me on music. All right, Arnie. I guess I'll give you that one. No. I had a whole load of pages lined up on Explorer and they've all gone. I think I just X'd out the wrong thing. Oh, no. That's a disaster. It's not a disaster. It's an opportunity. As I headbutt the thing. Oh, man, I took ages. Because what I did, I put all the... I put all the pages you just saw on one browser, and then I used Internet Explorer for the other browser, which is the world's worst browser. I never use it unless I really have to, but I thought we'd keep everything together, and I could just jump through. Alright, we're going to try and do it the hard way then. I'm getting more Cardiff by the day, I don't know why. There we are, I'm getting more Cardiff. Right, okay. A quick one, the main theme, which I will also do as a separate standalone video. Who was it? A couple of people have sent requests saying, can you do the history bit? We love the news, but can you do the history bit as a separate video as well? Because we don't have to keep going through the news every time we like to see it. So, yes. Good idea. Right. Right. I'm going to get my notes out now. Oh, my goodness. I lost all my pages. Luckily, I know what it is. Right. I am going to have to pick out some of the pictures I had ready to go on screen. I'm going to have to look out of here. All right. So, first one is just a quick one. Does that look familiar at all? Well, I know it's South Wales, it's Glamorgan and it's Gwent, but where those blobs are, they're hill forts, okay? And if you look at it, this looks very similar to Wilson and Blackett's Fortress Glamorgan. The one I also did an article on that was on the website. Unfortunately, that's when I realised the blog is going wrong. And I had to take it down, had to get rid of that one. And what's interesting there, it talks about... Right. So what I'm going to do, because I haven't got all the pictures there, and I go a little bit shorter and come from the end and come back to the beginning again. When I was reading this book, what struck me was the excellent research and the professional archaeological work that was done. Couldn't use a simpler word. Archaeological work that was done. First thing they found, this is not in a particular order, going through the book, there were roads. There were definitely roads. And one of the reasons why this chap, Ray Howell, very, really clever guy. I mean, this is a beautifully written book, I have to say. And I loved the way he says that it would you know, the implication is, or it would seem that, or most likely, or this would imply that. He's not at all arrogant about this book. It's wonderful. It's written, you can follow the pieces and draw your own conclusions, ask your own questions. Now, at the end, on a lot of the chapters, he goes that way and I go that way. But I couldn't get anywhere without the first sort of 5 bits of the 6-point ladder he's built. So it's brilliant, all right? Now, one of the things is that so much archaeological evidence, more than I had realised, for the metalworking that you need to do carriages and things like this. Oh, I do need those pictures. Oh, I'll put the new video up. I'll put the pictures up again anyway, because there are some things I'd like people to look at, all right? Anyway, for now, so you must have level ground and roads and stuff to be using all these carts and chariots and all that kind of stuff. They can't just go chomping across fields. And it's quite a hilly country as well. I know the Vale's quite flat, but they'll find these things all over the place. Okay, so that would imply that. Vehicles, roads. Another interesting thing is the pots that they find. Now, I know pots get a bit boring and everyone gets obsessed with Latin style and designs and all that kind of stuff. What Ray brings out, which I hadn't, it's obvious once you've heard it, but I hadn't thought of before, is that the pots aren't necessarily the important thing. Because what you can't see, of course, is what was in the pots. And that's what makes it interesting. So you've got the design of the Glamorgan and Gwent pots, which is chevrons, which is curious. If you follow the hieroglyphics, the chimeroglyphics, that goes all the way back to Egypt. And it's still on the Welsh Glamorgan shield to this day. So chevrons is a very ancient symbol in Wales. It predates the Norman declare, whatever it says in the history books, by a couple of thousand years at least. Anyway, so what's interesting, if you look at the different pots, you can see where the pots come from. And it's not a case of people are buying and selling pots. It's obviously the contents. And one particular conical shaped pots designed to carry salt. And it was seen the salt, that is from memory now, I think it's in the Malvern area near Birmingham. And you can see these pots, so presumably the people in South East Wales were trading something in return. Possibly metalwork, I would think. But various other things. They had sheep and cows and all these. He's got archaeological evidence for a thriving economy, bounding with prospects, as you might call it, okay? What's curious, according to the archaeological records in this book, that trade continued uninterrupted throughout the Roman period as well. And this is where we get to this real thing about how much did the Romans actually control Britain or conquer it. And another reference I put up there, I think it's about, trying to remember the name of the emperor. Anyway, it's about 193. One of the Roman emperors fought a famous battle with the British warlord. That's 193. And that's almost 150 years after the conquest is supposed to be over. So what was going on there? And the battles you see in South Wales. Right, it's the other thing. So what's that about? The metalworking. This is no primitive hill tribes. The metalworking goes back a long, long way. At least 1000 BC, according to the way they've done their archaeological research. And I would suggest it goes back to 1500 BC at least, which is when we consider that the migration happened. And this is the thing when you're reading this book. If you read this book, and I've seen it is on Amazon, you can get a copy, read it, bearing in mind what we think we know about the history, the hidden history, that for some reason never gets mentioned. Now, through years and years of going through the university system, Mr. Howell or Professor Howell doesn't seem prepared to go there. But you must see it, because it's in the information he provides. You must see it, surely. Right, another thing which you see, it's which I really did want to show. Let's see how much we can get through. Is the one thing that struck me as well is the buildings. I'm going to talk about round buildings and square buildings in a minute, and rectangular buildings, how they're all present in the British areas. And not only that, the fortifications, including stone fortifications. And one of the things that strikes me is that if the Romans really did dominate and conquer this area, then surely they were demanding that fortifications get taken down, things like that. Why would they let them carry on building new buildings and new fortifications? And the other thing which is good to note in there, inside is paved areas, not just cobbled areas, but actually paved areas inside these fortifications. So it's not, and they predate the Romans, all right? So you've got roads, paving, vehicles, foreign and domestic trade. I am going to go through all that, okay? Cobbled floors. Another one, which again I thank Richard Davis for, because he made a comment about, we talked about greens, because I do some foraging and healing and using natural herbs and stuff. And one of the things he said the Greeks came over for was to find out more about British farming. And this is, I don't know, BC anyway, 400-500 BC or something. And one of the things he pointed out was that you never have to starve in Wales. And it's the same as southwest of England. And I don't know about the southeast, but in the southwest and Wales, you can always forage. Nearly all the leaves are edible and nutritious. So this is the other thing you always get on the Asterix cartoons. By the way, Asterix, hello, welcome to the group. That's not his real name, he tells me. Go figure. Anyway, the sickles weren't just there to go out and old Getafix trying to find his magic herbs to make the potion. This could well have been just foraging for food. Because one of the things they notice in the British farming is there's loads of animal farming, pastoral farming, and actually organised husbandry as well, and also arable farming. But of course you need your greens. As I tell my boys every day, you need your greens. And that was one of the great things. They don't have to farm it in South Wales. You can go out and start eating it. And we had a great little chat about different leaves and herbs and all that kind of stuff. So that's worth bearing in mind. I just thought I'd mention that. And the other thing which they found as well is loom weights. If you don't know what a loom weight is, they're generally round with a hole in the middle, and this brings in our American connections because they find loads of these in America which tie in with the weaving and the shuttling and making your cotton and your flax and all that kind of stuff. Right, one thing okay. There's a couple of juicy bits in here I really want to get into. Oh no, I've just done my glasses. There we go. Oh yeah, I almost forgot this other card. This does tie in. One of the things that you look at is that Parnassus is supposed to have risen up and usurped the Romans what was that, 200 and something. Oh no, cancel that. Don't go with the dates. I need to check those. And what he did was then supposed to revolted and kicked out the Romans and take over the throne. All right. And Tumbalum, there we go. Another beautiful painting by Richard. So I'll try and make these cards available through the website or tell you where you can go to get them. They're definitely in Alan's shop in the Fulham in Caerleon. Isn't that fantastic? And this is a view you can actually get, as he showed me, from where the amphitheatre is in Caerleon. So if he did throw out the Romans as part of this topic, where he's buried would be the bit overlooking his plot, where Caerleon is, and the non-Roman Roman bit, I would say. Oh, the other thing, which isn't mentioned in this book so much, well, the place is mentioned, is Caerwent. C-A-E-R, then Went. W-E-N-T. Now this, mentioned in various books, such as E.O. Gordon's Prehistoric London. Sorry, you can't see the real cover. As you know, I cover my own books. Mentions in there, was a British town. It predates the Romans. And if you think about it, why would you have Caerleon and then have, if that's Roman, we'll give them that one then, say, why would you build another town just a little bit further up? Now, what it seemed to happen to me anyway, I'm not the first person to say it, is this would have been the border. So the idea of the Romans, as mentioned earlier, if they got their massive legions at Caerleon, supposedly occupying South Wales, then it's a really bad place to do it because you're right on the edge. You're not occupying, you're not covering any of the hinterland or valleys or main populations or strategic areas. So, Duffrig was the saint I couldn't think of earlier because I was trying to think of Dubricius, his Latin name, okay? Now, here's a couple of things just to pick out quickly from here. Oh, excuse me. Right. Hang on, I've written on all the page numbers. I am prepared. Loom weights, the pots, the contents. Yeah, that's right. Page 58. Page 58. The book has turned in my hands. I had it already. Oh, by the way, in this book, fantastic pictures. Many of these I managed to find on, or similar ones. It's great. I didn't realise there had been so much archaeology in Wales. I mean, it's a bit sad in a way. I think he says like 20 sites and only a few of them are major. But man, how much stuff they found just in that small area. And he's done a brilliant job in this book of tracking it down and recording it. Arnie, give me a nudge if I don't mention roundhouses because that's important. Right, okay. So this is one of the things that gets me. There's been very little archaeology in Wales. Of course, they haven't found many things. Every time they do, they find loads. Now, I'm going to put a logic question to you now, okay? If you're talking about a style of something, or a metalworking technique, for example, where is it most likely to start, do you think? The place where the metal is, and is advanced metalworking, or is it more likely it started hundreds and hundreds of miles away by people who haven't got great resources to metal, or what's this? Oh, thank you, yeah, almost at time, yeah. Or haven't got great coal like you have in Wales, like anthracite, the best coal, and lime for the kilns and all these kind of things. But apparently the British were too stupid to work any of these things out, and all the technology drifted in from Europe. Or is it more likely an advanced technology arrives from the Middle East into Wales? It's got the iron, the coal, all the other things you need to do wood, the lot, everything you need to do advanced metalworking, the copper, tin, lead, iron, it's everything, right? But they didn't work it out until someone from, I don't know, Eastern Europe came and told them eventually. So one of the things I have a personal bugbear is latten. So there's an example here, you see. Brooches in the latten style are important in that, as has been seen, they place the Silurian region within a wider cultural context. The latten style developed on the continent in the late 5th and early 4th centuries BC, and then spread through trade and adoption of the style by local craftsmen. It was so widely embraced that it became an emblem of Iron Age elites all over Europe. And there's a reference there. That's not Richard. He's quoted that from someone else. I'll put it in the full video when I do it. I've got the references to hand. But the point is there, it's just assumed it went that way. It's absolutely 100% assumed. It's more likely, if anything, to have gone the other way, where it started in Britain. But this is the real scandal I want to tell you about. I'll start wrapping up in a minute. Listen to this, what I did not know about, right? I'd heard stories about this, but it's the first time I've seen it written out properly. And there's all sorts of stuff here about iron swords. Tunagaya is a great site. The picture's going to show all the different sites, that kind of stuff. So I'll find them all again. I'll put it up again for another time. Right, 2 things on one page. Page 60 of this book, I would say, sums up the great things and the worst things about the book, okay? First one is, in the previous few pages, it gives examples of all these coins that are found. And they are pre-Roman, many of them. And there's some, for example, are stamped with Caradoc on it. And here's one of the things. This is the kind of thing academics do, all right? Because it says, Caradoc is the Welsh name for Caractacus. Can anyone see the problem with that sentence? Well, his name's Caradoc. Caractacus is the Roman version. It's the Latinization. You see what I mean? How everything's kind of just... It's Roman and... Oh, but it's... there we are. It used to be the same with places in Germany and that, wasn't it? If you went to... Cologne, you know, and the German name is Köln, isn't it? You know, so Köln is a German translation of Cologne. That's what it's like saying, isn't it? Rather, anyway. So this is the scandal. The coins first. This is a bizarre sentence, right? For example, right? He's talking about the gold coins, silver coins, all sorts. Okay, so bear with me a minute. These gold coins must have had far too high a value for normal transactions, and as a consequence, not to have functioned in as currency in any conventional sense. So they got coins, silver coins, gold coins. They got the stamp on them. They're saying they can't be used as currency. And yet the very next sentence, the Silurius, it would seem, had specific and limited uses for the coins, probably as a way to store and or to transmit wealth. Well, I studied economics. I mean, what else do you do with money? You either store it or you spend it, innit? I don't know. But also, these coin finds fit well with ceramic and other evidence of interactions between the Silurius and the Deboni. He likes to use the Roman names for the tribes. It should be noted, however, that a mix of other tribal coins found include examples from the Trinovantes and Duraciges, as well as 2 Gallic issues. They're from France, the north of England. One unidentified, could be anywhere in the world, right, with respect to tribe, and the other from the Turon, which I think is sort of German France area. Listen to this. Examples of Greek coins could have arrived in the Iron Age, although there is no compelling evidence that they did. You found the coins. That's some sort of evidence. How did they get there? You know, Nevertheless, the general distribution of coins, including Gallic and possibly Greek examples, provide additional support for the idea of a maritime trading system. So well done, you, sir. Well done. A silver coin found near, Penrhyn y Droireth, inscribed Cara, presumably represents Caractacus himself. Caradoc. So, I mean, a good point there. All right, I've got to cut to the end. Another one is then the scandal. This is the scandal I want to tell you about, okay? Among the more frustrating examples of militaria from the Silurian region are the Ogmore helmets. Have you heard of this? The Ogmore helmets, which are found in 1818, reportedly with burials and associated weapons. Between two and 4 bronze helmets, at least one decorated with enamel as well as gold and silver wire, were reported. Unfortunately, the objects disappeared while being transported for display at the Society of Antiquaries in London, and are now only known through Victorian drawings. I mean, it's just horrendous. They found loads of helmets and stuff. I'd love to see them, because this big thing about Vendel helmets and Sutton Hoo, and you can't just lose this stuff. Someone's nicked it. It's outrageous. The appearance of the helmets and recent discoveries in other areas, however, may cast light on a cast bronze object in the Seven Sisters hoard, which resembles the crest knobs from various examples of Iron Age helmets. Obviously, not Seven Sisters there. They found a chariot. They found all sorts of things. No one ever mentions the armour. Alright, anyway, that's enough for today. I'll do another video so you can see all the images. It really is fantastic. What else do I want to cover just before I make sure I don't miss anything? Yeah, they mentioned the number of Roman generals that came and went, obviously having failed. And then another one which is interesting, Lodge Hill, we'll talk about that one, is the sign of fortification near Rome, which they try and explain always. It's difficult times and whatever. Well, I would think if you're building defensive fortifications near where the Romans are, it sounds like a border. and defensive area. So what we're saying throughout all this, there was road building going on, there was international trade, there was local trade, they were building, they fought, the roundhouses, all sorts of going on, supposedly when they're under the thumb of the Romans are running everything. What the book also explains is how some of the fancy farms, people who had money, were being upgraded to villas. So there was a Romanization, but only adoption of styles and stuff. In the same way as you go to the Middle East now, the Middle East is the oil-rich centre of the world. Everyone over there, I lived there for 5 years. The tower, the amazing tower blocks, everything is very, very Western because that's the latest style. And they're the ones that come in, possibly the expertise, build it. But you guarantee it's the local people doing most of the building. Okay, so I'll do another video on that. Thank you for bearing with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I have got a quiz question this week since it was so popular last couple of times. I'm sorry I can't keep up with the lag on the comments is ruining that tonight. I'll try and get back. Anyone else need to get back to there, Arnie? I'll just do the...
No, really?
Right, okay. Arnie's a tough one to please. Alright, okay, quiz question. Okay. Now, it's going to sound stupid when I say it first. In ancient times, and I'm talking BC, what were the deep wells used for? I am going to give a clue. I'll give 2 clues. The first clue is they were not there primarily to draw water from. So you can dig a really deep well, but it's not for drawing the water. There is water at the bottom, but that's not why you dig the well. Maybe if you're desperate, you get some water out. That's not why the well is there, okay? And I'll give a second clue. The deeper the well, the better. So if you know this, and it's not a trick, it's not like some joke, it's like the way I spell the words or the way I said the sentences. You will see them all over Britain, these very, very ancient wells, a couple of 1,000 years old, going back probably 500 BC or something. Very, very deep. Quite narrow, some of them very small. You think, the effort's going to building that so deep, and they might not even use them for water. So why would you do that? Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm sorry I'm able to interact with you. I don't know why the comments is all so slow today. Oh, I can... Yeah, look at that. I can see all the glossy pictures. Sorry, I just say one more thing about people obviously weren't there earlier. Let's talk about this book. There it is. Thank you very much. Thank you, Richard, for putting me in touch with... Well, not in touch with him yet. I'm hoping to meet him and have a chat. I hope he watches this, but I hope he's not sort of put off by it. I'm really impressed by the book. I love it. And like I said, what I love about this book, it gives you all the bits of information, and then he's like, well, it would seem to suggest this. And I might say, well, actually, I think it might suggest this. So hopefully we can have a nice chat about it all. And some great pictures in there, and I will do... Oh, yeah, there's one I wanted to show. Yeah. Just to finish, there's one picture I just flickered past. This is my favourite. I have a lot of good pictures in here, mate. Oh, no, please. I slipped away. Ah, yes, here it is. Great. Check that out. How cool is that? And I would like to know more about this, because it says... I can't see from where I am, obviously. But it's Gwent Glamorgan Archaeological Trust, something like that. That rings a bell. But also, if you look at it, there's a boat buried. A boat burial. Proper archaeology. And the curious thing is, if you look for that kind of burial site, archaeology, in as much as everyone thinks Sutton Hoo must be Viking or Scandinavian because it's got a boat in it, have a look, see what you can find. And there's another challenge for you. How many Vendel helmets can you find outside Britain? And how many boat-shaped burial mounds can you find outside Britain? And yet, they're not British. Anyway, okay, thanks for everyone. Funny old night, not be able to see the feedback. But I hope everyone enjoyed it, and loads of videos coming during the week. So remember, we do need helpers with editing, typing. If you've got your own content, even better, send the videos in. There's so much happening with the books flying out the door now. It's onward and upwards, and we're getting better and better. And until the next time, where are you, Baron? You're supposed to come wading in with the music now. Ah, man, what a pro, eh? Until the next time, I'll leave the chats open for a bit longer so people carry on chatting. And I look forward to seeing you all again during the week. Come on, laggy computer. I don't think somebody say, like, in the trade it calls knitting. Have you heard that? It's called knitting, when you have to just keep talking until you get to the next link. Come on. Come on, please. I did it wrong now. Alright, we'll go with this one. Different track. Something's wrong with that one. Okay. Let's say this one there. Oh, Jordan, I'll just say a few names. Good to see you, Jordan. Good to see you, Darren. Yep. Oh, yeah, the roundhouses. Yeah, you're right. Just... Thank you for reminding me. You wrote about the roundhouses there, Arnie. And the haze as well. We've got to cover. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Darren Cole was mentioning it. Yeah, he's on the right track. I think he was mentioning specifically this. Not that he doesn't know it. But one of the reasons in a roundhouse is it does fit more in with nature, with the sun going round as the seasons go on, yeah? And what it would seem, the internal divisions in the house are quite fascinating. So maybe you have the light side, the dark side. And this is one of the great things about this book. He doesn't tell you this is the answer. He's like, well, maybe it was a male-female or religious side and a sort of normal life side. Who knows, you know? But it's one of those interesting ones to think about. Why they lived in round houses. Because what the archaeology shows is that the residential houses seem to be round. Whereas the rectangle and the square ones, they were there. And there was paved floors. And there was cobble floors. And proper floored buildings. The reason they were the ancillary buildings, you know, for storing grain, that kind of thing. So my computer's decided, that's it. It's not going to play ball now. Almost everything's shut, so I don't know why it's not happy still. But, alright, we have to cut out any music. Until the next time from me and from Arnie, thank you for doing the typing, Arnie. Keep an eye on things. And see you during the week. Bye-bye. Hedwch. I'll try and get some music on. Jump back in the order. See, I mentioned Elvis in my Donald Trump video. And we had this song here. This is the opening song, isn't it? Yeah, it's a really clumsy DJ now, for which I apologise. I'm not fading in and out. Back to track 3. There you go, folks. And I will now try and catch up with some of the comments. I would have done eyes to the...
Elvis rock the people and rock-a-hoo. Elvis rock the people and rock-a-hoo. He was king, but now he's gone. Rock-a-hoo. King, but now he's gone. Rock-a-hoo. Had the world at his feet. Rock-a-hoo. Cooley's action could not be beat. Rock-a-hoo. Rock the people and rock-a-hoo. Elvis rock the people and rock-a-hoo. The grace to hide. Rock-a-hoola. We love him loyally, he's on our minds. Rock-a-hoola. Elvis rocked the people then. Rock-a-hoola. Elvis rocked the people then. Rock-a-hoola. with you. Sly eyes, come and see me too. There's a lot I'd like to tell you, you'll find interesting. Lady, wanna feel at home? Champagne, let's drink in vain. Still used to impress the naive, woodchuck's expensive part. If you only could conceive just what you mean to me. My heart is pounding at the thought of you. Man, 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 your perfume is so fine to me. Sly eyes, let me be with you. Sly eyes, come and see me too. There's a lot I'd like to tell you, you'll find interesting. Laggard, what a feeble poem. Stop playing, don't start that again. I'm abused to address ladies, woodchuck's extensive slum. If you only could conceive just what you mean to me. My heart is pounding at the thought of you. Bam, 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 your perfume is so fine, and you are always mine. Polarized, no apology. Scream for a new technology. There's a lie in every billion that say go sour. Laggard, what a feeble poem. Stop playing, don't start that again. I'm abused to address ladies, woodchuck's extensive slum. If you only could conceive just what you mean to me. My heart is pounding at the thought of you. Bam, 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 your perfume is so fine, and you are always mine. Sly eyes, let me be with you. Sly eyes, come and see me too. There's a lot I'd like to tell you, you'll find interesting.
in paradise in the heart of man is better than something less. The first time we met, something strange inside happened. Nothing to equal the emptiness. mine. Whoa, give me some. The house shop shall truly get tired in due course. Another thing to say is my Jaguar still standing out in the rain on Water Street.
I guess it's a trip to America.
So we'll be in paradise in the heart of my
Everyone lurks around
better
this long.
than something less.
No. But there is an interview with Baron Customized Music. It is a rare saving for when we launched the album, right? So I still can't see the comments. Yeah. So I'm gonna, unfortunately, if you want to swap emails or get a room,
The first time we met, something strange inside happened. Nothing
Oh,
to
store's at the bar,
equal the
half
emptiness.
Stop making a move now. That's how I used to make in the bar. Thinking the last tune. Say goodbye to your drinks, everybody. Say goodbye to my drinks. Oh, I was supposed to see what we're doing next week. Oh, well. You can't do everything, can you? I'll do the Welsh to start. Alright, good night everybody. We'll see you all again